This looks like a really interesting game to me, not gonna lie. This is Anamesia, Part 1, Am I My Body? Developed and published by Simon Herbig. This was released just this year, I believe, right? February 21st, actually. And it is described as a sci-fi mystery visual novel. It's a very escape room sort of vibe here. We're trapped in an abandoned research facility, split into two teams, tasked with finding out the truth behind a secret member. Now, the interesting thing here is that each part of this game, this project, is centered around one character, so... Which, I don't want to call that, like, character route really here. But it's very interesting, just how perspective can change things in this story. Think about Higurashi. Even though different events happen through the different character perspectives, but the differing perspective in Higurashi, like, reframes certain events, going from question to answer. Also, coincidentally, we have two answer teams and a question team. Also, curiously, we seem to be working in reverse. It is a very interesting concept here. We have part 1, which is going to be a decently sized series. The curiosity of things here, it also mentions checking your log to find the truth, which, incorporating the log of a visual novel, is quite intriguing. I want to see how that works. So, on that note, let's get into Adrian's story. Would it be a shame if we forgot about each other, don't you think? Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here? Anyone could do something as simple as that. If the seat taken. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting the life I was given. May I sit here? Sometimes the words that were said mattered less than the feelings attached to them. Nobody is sitting here, right? Oh, no entries found. Unless it's intended, please visit your local NeroLink Center for further assistance with diagnosing and resolving this underlying issue. We apologize for any potential inconveniences this might cause. We can search the... Interesting. And you promise to always remember me, no matter what. These words, they rushed through my head, from one side to the other, bouncing back and forth, overlapping endlessly until the cacophony is drowned out by my waking mind, ringing for air. Still feeling like I'm floating, drifting in and out of this semi-lucid state. I want nothing more than to fall back asleep. Wash away the scenes that just played out in my head, replace them with something meaningless and random. Something that doesn't remind me of her. Deep down in the back of my head, there's another much quieter voice, barely audible, a subconscious whisper that hardly even qualifies as a voice at all. A sound that stands above all others, that thinks about my thoughts, questions, doubts, and worries about them. It's so quiet that I only ever perceive it as being there, when I deliberately try to stop thinking. I struggle with falling asleep at night because every single piece of noise, both and internal, keeps me awake. Then this is the only layer of thought that always remains, no matter how many of them I shut off. It's always there, always here. It's here now, telling me it's futile, telling me that no amount of sleep will ever help me forget. As long as her words linger so vividly in my mind, they will always come back to haunt me, and I only have myself to blame. Her image won't fade until I decide to let it, to take it down and burn it to ashes, and... I'm awake. It is throbbing with pain. How much did I drink last night? Finally I decide to sit up and open my eyes, finding myself in a completely unfamiliar room. Why the hell? I get up unusually quick, which I instantly regret when the dizziness almost knocks me back down. I take a short moment to focus and finally look at the unfamiliar room in front of me. 3 beds, one now empty, a woman in each of the other 2. I can't recall ever having seen either of them. I think, should I? I try to remember what I've been up to last night. My brain just doesn't want to cooperate at all. How the hell did I get here? I I notice two doors at the other end of the room and slowly make my way toward them. I open the one that leads ahead. A bathroom. Once again, I don't recognize this room at all. I walk toward the sink to splash some water on my face. Looking up, my reflection stares back at me. It looks like shit. I look like shit. Tired as always, but then again, do I really look like someone who drank himself into forgetting how he got here in the first place? Yeah, my head's pain. I'm so nauseous I can barely stand, but that's just how it is sometimes. I don't know. Something's off. Check out the door. I check out the door next to the bathroom. Our kitchen. Absolutely spotless. I could eat off the floor. Definitely doesn't look like anyone has been partying here last night. I'm sure of it. But... and what happened? What is this place? I try my best to focus and take another look around the room. If there's anything that could give me some sort of hint. None of these rooms had any sort of windows. Is this underground? Wait, where's the exit anyway? There's another door leading left from the kitchen. Enter the room that lies beyond it. Before I can even process what kind of room I find myself in, my entire attention is directed toward the door on the other side of it. A strange middle door that looks completely different from the rest. Is this the way outside? My mind clears up. Not even thinking about it, I rush toward the door and place my hand on the weird scanner thing at the center of it. It opens up and reveals... what the... I'm not sure what it revealed, but it's sure as hell not going out, not the outside. I simply stand still, dumbfounded, until... Excuse me? A gentle voice rings out behind me. So gentle, yet sending shivers down my spine the moment it reaches my ears. Looks like I'm not granted any more time to sort out the situation I found myself in. Not like I could do so either way. Turn around. Where am I? I don't know. I found myself in front of a beautiful young woman. She's one of the two I saw lying in the remaining beds. Like myself, she doesn't look like she just got up at all. Ooh, there's a red handpad. But she did. Some people are just blessed like that, huh? Just roll out of bed with perfect bed hair. I see. Behind her lies a wall adorned by 3 doors. I entered this hall through the one on the left. It looks like she used the one in the middle. Does that mean... Without saying another word, I walked right past her and opened said door. Sure enough, I found myself back in the room I first woke up in. Seems I just didn't notice this door. What do you do? Oh, there's someone else in here? It seems like you didn't even notice I thought another woman was still sleeping here. I shrug. The stranger walks up to the other stranger and softly shakes her. What is it? Wait. After a few seconds of drowsily rubbing her eyes, she abruptly jumps up from her bed. Oh, what the fuck are you? What do you want from me? What is this place? What is she getting so worked up over? Or is this the kind of reaction one is expected to have in a situation like this? We aren't really sure about this either. I'm sorry to say this, but we only just woke up ourselves. He points toward the unmade beds. Oh, my name is Evelyn. Evelyn? Why do I feel like I already knew that? So I just search text. Curious. Alright, great. And you? He stares daggers at me. Adrian. Turns away and starts to look around. What about you, if I may ask? She hesitates briefly, then replies without even turning toward us. Valerie. Once again, it doesn't feel like a new piece of info for me. Did I lose part of my memory after all? Did we all? If so, how? I assume booze is still out of the question. Then did someone make us forget? Is that someone's the same person who was to blame for us being here? Who brought us here? So neither of you knows where we are. Really? Yes, that is correct. We just woke up here, just like you. Does that lead outside? Her eyes glance past us, straight at the middle door. Outside might not convey it properly. What's that supposed to mean? I feel it's best if you see for yourself. You probably wouldn't truly believe it otherwise. She moves past us and places her hand on the door. We watch it open once more. Honestly, I still can't believe that this is really happening. Judging from the fact that this is the first time that Valerie has not bombarding us with questions since she woke up, she probably feels similarly. For a moment, we all just stand there, studying the grey, barren walls around us. At least that's what I do. I have no idea what the two of them are thinking. Honestly, I'm just waiting for one of them to make a move or say something. Anything. Then after a while, Valerie continues stepping forward. She carefully approaches the large door on the other side of the hall. Much more than the door itself, she's wondering about the letters next to it. ATA. Is that? She falls silent. Is that what? Does she have an idea what this place might be? This must be some kind of prank. Come on, stop acting like you don't know anything. I'm sorry, but I really don't know what you are talking about. Do you know what those letters refer to, perhaps? Have you been living under some kind of rock? Who the fuck doesn't know what that means? You seriously expect me to believe that? She wasn't even addressing me, but it made me wonder. Have I been living under some kind of rock? Should I know what those letters stand for? What's wrong with you, quiet boy? Just gonna stand there and wait until I leave? I don't know what those letters mean either. Sorry. That wasn't even the question, damn it. I have no idea what your deal is, but leave me out of it, will you? Don't expect anything from me. Expect you to unless you decide to spill, alright? With that, she storms off toward the bedroom. Wait a second, please! Evelyn goes after her, and the door closes behind them. Should I follow them? Let's be real. Even if I did, what can I realistically do to help? It makes sense that she doesn't trust two random strangers in a situation like this. I'm not even sure why I do. She's probably just panicking right now. I really don't know what I could say to calm her down. Whatever. I'll let Evelyn try to handle it. She seems much more proficient at this social interaction thing anyway. Not that she's all that much. Not that that's all much an accomplishment. Think about what I could be doing in the meantime. Guess I could check the remaining door? The one on the right? Unlike the other two, the scanner on this one is red. I place my hand on it, anyways, and surprise, nothing happens. Guess red just means it's locked. Well, that's good to know at least. Should suffice to map out the areas I've seen so far. We got this hall. This door on the left leads to some kind of living room or whatever. Leads to a kitchen. It's connected to a bedroom, which can also be reached through the door in the middle. Bedroom leads to a bathroom as well. Just leave the door on the right, which leads to some kind of mystery location. Yeah. On the large one over there. If I can come to any earth-shattering realization about that, though. Notice that Evelyn has already returned. She locked herself in the bathroom and doesn't reply to anything I'm saying. Suppose we don't have any other choice but to let her be for now. Panicking and disrupting strangers in a situation like this is only natural. They're distrusting strangers. I'm sure she will calm down eventually. Yeah, probably. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what I thought just a minute ago. She took the words right out of my mouth, and left me with nothing much more to add. I'm sorry. I assume you don't really feel like talking. Oh, no, it's fine. I'm just not very used to, well, being in a situation like this. I mean, being kidnapped? Oh, no, just having conversations in general. All right, I understand it's not like something that happens, like this happens every day after all. It sure doesn't. The conversation thing, I mean. Okay, I know. Sorry, I know. One joke. But seriously, though, what am I supposed to say right now? There's not much of anything we can do, right? The remaining doors won't budge. I'm pretty sure we won't be able to just bypass them somehow. So if that's the case, what can we even talk about? I don't think the atmosphere calls for small talk. Not that I'd be very good at that, anyway. Should I ask her how she feels about the situation? I mean, isn't that obvious? How would someone feel about waking up in some strange facility? Oh yeah, I love being here. It's like a super fun mystery, duh. So really, what's left to discuss? Out of nowhere, as if to hand me a topic to talk about, some sort of notice appears at the other end of the hall. I turned around and realized that Evelyn has already made her way over to the huge door while I was busy with thinking. Anyway, I went over to her. What was that sound? Did you do something? I don't believe I did. I was simply looking around when it suddenly started. Listen closely. It seemed to be coming from behind the door, moving upwards. Elevator? Just as I come to that conclusion, I begin to see something. No, someone emerged behind that glass plane. Another stranger facing away from us, right toward a wall. After a while, the platform he is standing on comes to a halt, and he begins to speak. His monotonous voice is played back through some speakers, seemingly hidden within the walls of this hall. Good morning. I hope I've given you enough time to wake up and get yourself accustomed to your whereabouts. Either way, I guess introductions are in order. Sadly, I'm not able to give you my proper name. Null. For now, I'll have to remain as an empty variable. Null, if you will. The one thing I can tell you about myself is the following. Yes, I am the one behind all this. I have trapped each of you in this facility in order to have you participate in an experiment of mine. You don't need to know the details behind it, the purpose of you being here. Instead, simply think of it as a fun little game I prepared for you. The truth game. The truth of what, you may wonder? Over that, I will first need to tell you about all the participants in this experiment. What appears to be a map suddenly engulfs my view. Augmented reality. This facility is split into 3 halls. Within each of them, a team of 3 participants resides. 2 of these are called answer teams. The one to my right is Answer Team A, or for short, ATA. The other one is Answer Team B, you guessed it, ATB. The remaining people reside in the hall to my left. They are the so-called Question Team. You need to learn as much as you can about the singular person that will never leave that hall. That neither answer team will get the chance to meet for the duration of this game. That person isn't the only member of the Question Team, of course. There are 2 more, which will be continuously switching between the area of the QT and the area of 1AT each. You can think of the entire game as being split into multiple rounds that last 3 hours each. The first 90 minutes of each round are when the ATs will be visited. After that, the QT will reunite for the remaining 90 minutes. That way you'll have enough time to ask whatever questions you might have about the secret final participant. You know the QT itself will get the opportunity to gather information in the first place. Simple, right? You will need to cooperate in order to come as close to the truth as possible. If you ever want to leave this place, that is. Alright, I'll leave it at that for the time being. We can discuss further details another time. For now, please prepare for your visitor, who will make their way over to you shortly. Good luck. Oh boy. The sound of what seems to be an elevator returns, and with that the mastermind sinks back below the ground. But why would we just stand there, stunned? There's so much to process about what we just heard and seen. I don't even know where to begin. 3 halls, 3 teams, all of the same size. Secret participant that we need to learn the truth about. What for? Can't figure any of this out. And then there are some minor things like, I wonder what kind of person will join us. Evelyn interrupts my chain of thought. Guess we'll find out soon enough. No point in overthinking a question that will be answered shortly. Whoever they are, they'll stay here for 90 minutes, right? I wonder how long this whole thing is supposed to last. How long we're supposed to stay here. I mean, assuming we're going to get out of this alive in the first place. Oh, don't worry about that. The person behind this wanted to kill us. I'm sure he wouldn't have left us with a kitchen and a bathroom. Well, everything we need to survive. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know whether she seriously believes her own words, or if she just wants to keep me from getting even more depressed. Obviously, that guy Noel didn't want us to die right off the bat. He asked us to play along with his stupid game, after all. Of course, we would be provided with everything we need to survive, for the duration of at least that. That doesn't mean he actually plans to let us out of here by the end of it. Either way, I realize I've been quiet for far too long once more, and decide to fake a relieved smile and reply. You're right. She seems glad about my response. Can't tell whether she is naive, kind, or both. I turn back around. At the moment, a sound arises from behind the door. Oh, that must be the person from the other team. On the other team. We quickly take a few steps back and watch the doors as it opens. A middle-aged man enters, casting his eyes about the hall to take in its features, or lack thereof. Surprise, this place looks just like the one I came from. Oh, hi. Just the 2 of you. Aren't there supposed to be 3 folks per team? Our last member is currently hiding away in the bathroom. She seems to be in a severe state of panic. Ah, I see. Well, can't blame her. This whole thing is rather crazy. Oliver's the name, by the way. How about you? Adrian. My name is Evelyn. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Well, I'm glad to meet the two of you. At least as glad as one can be in a situation like this. Stop being so formal, though. I'm not that old. You're right, I'm sorry. I will try. Anyway, they both turn to look at me. Great. Our goal is to learn about one of the people on your team, right? Can you tell us about whoever that is? I'm cutting right to the chase, huh? I didn't ask. Evelyn surely would have done so in my stead. I need to... Well, I guess we do have a time limit, don't we? But still, it doesn't feel like it'd make much sense to discuss without the whole group present. He's right, of course. So then, what would you suggest we do now? Good question. Guess we can't really make many progress till we get the chance to properly talk this through, huh? In that case, I suppose I should try talking to her again. Maybe updating her on what we've learned in the meantime will help. Are you sure? You think that will help her to calm down? Sounds like a plan, alright. Need any assistance with that? I don't think that will be necessary. I feel like all of us talking to her at once would only lead to stressing her out even further. Why don't the two of you sit down in the kitchen in the meantime? I will join you once I'm done. Hopefully not on my own. Of course, another one-on-one convo was just what I needed. A social pariah. Anyway, sure. In that case, best of luck. I will do my best. Oliver gives me a slight push through the door. I make my way through the bedroom with him and Evelyn following behind me. Shortly after I enter the kitchen, I still hear Evelyn knocking on the bathroom door before Oliver closes the door behind us. Meanwhile, I'm already busy looking around the room. Last time I was still under the assumption that this whole situation might just be the aftermath of some party. Now I know for sure that isn't the case. Compared to the rundown hall we're in, it looks way too welcoming. Clean. Warm. I don't know, it's almost eerie. The question is, how is such an extreme contrast in appearance possible? Well, I have my suspicions. In order to confirm those, I walk toward the wall of plants. I stretch out my hand to grab one of the large leaves. I can feel the texture of the greenery on my skin, a slight resistance to a physical object when trying to move past it. The further I move my hand, the further the plant is moved. Until it can't resist anymore and phases right through my palm, back into its original position. I knew it. What are you doing? I turn around and notice that he has already sat down at the table. Most likely watched how I played around with a bunch of leaves like some kind of idiot. Oh, nothing. Just wondering about something. I sit down across from him and wait. Neither of us says anything. I honestly thought he would be more the talkative type. After all the commotion so far, I'm just glad to catch a short break. Maybe he sensed that. Well then, I could at least use this occasion to gather my thoughts, think about what I know that could help me for figuring out how we all got here. Wait, I haven't even checked my NeroLink yet. I tried connecting to the net right away, but no dice. Figures. What about my log? Why can't I access it? Huh? My local storage has been wiped completely. Who would do something like that? And how? My head hurts just thinking about it. All those entries gone. Just like that. I stored all those memories for years and years. For what? Fuck it. This isn't the time to wallow in self-pity. Point is, I got a clean log, starting with me waking up earlier today and having Evelyn approach me. You said today, but now that I check it, my clock and calendar stopped working as well. He only showed the date of December 31st, 9999, with the time stuck at midnight. I'm not progressing any further. I have no idea what time of day it is. This, I can't even remember anything about how we got here. I'm not sure what day it was before all this started earlier. Someone who's dealt with default dates before, it's interesting to see the date default to max instead of minimum. I don't know what time of day it is. I can't even remember anything about how we got here. I'm not sure what day it was before all this started either. Hey, I decided to finally speak up. Maybe Oliver remembers more than I do. Do you have an idea why we're here? I barely remember what happened last night at all. Can you recall what you did before all this? Oh, that's a tough one. To be honest, my memories are kind of jumbled up, too. I was planning to visit a NeroLink center, the one in A3. I think going there is the last thing I can recall, but can't really tell where the cutoff is, you know? Huh, I see. At least it's not just me whose memories are messed up, then. A3's NeroLink Center. That's the one her father works at. Huh. Do you remember what day that was? 20th of August. Friday. Yeah. That does roughly line up with the things I can still recall. Wait, I just realized. Isn't he wearing a wristwatch? Does your watch still work? Huh? No, this, sadly, not a watch. At least not by my standards. I woke up with it. He holds out his arm to show the screen of the watch to me. It simply shows the number 79. It's a countdown. Tells me how much longer I will have to stay here before I can go back to my team. Well, I guess it sounded kind of rude. It's not like being here is any worse than over in the other hole. And for a timer to show me when I can finally go home. Roughly 10 minutes have passed since. 10 minutes have passed since then. Yeah, that makes sense. Damn. None of this brings me any closer to clearing up. Why the hell is this happening to us? Why were we abducted? Why are we split up in a bunch of teams to play a game? Why is our goal to figure out who the third member of the question team is? Can't figure it out. None of it. And again, I'm still waiting to hear anything about that person in the first place. That being any sort of clue is my last hope for now. As if for the sole purpose of ending that late, the bedroom door swings open. Through it, Evelyn enters with Valerie reluctantly following her. Ah, there you are. Valerie, right? Name's Oliver. Huh? Yeah, right. I'm caught up on everything that happened, so let's get to it. Who's in the question team beside you? Yeah. I'm sure you're all eager to find out. Come on, sit down, you two. Evelyn takes the seat next to his, but Valerie just leans against the wall next to the plants. I'm fine. Alright, if you say so. I think it's best if I just tell thee about our first interactions over in the other hall. Honestly, I might have hyped this up a bit too much. Please, keep your expectations in check. I barely had any time to prepare for this, so there's not even that much I can tell you so far. Beyond that, well, I'll start from the beginning. And I woke up, confused about where the heck I'd ended up. I first noticed a man in a lab coat who was eagerly studying his surroundings. I asked him who he was and where we were. He didn't know any more than I did. He just woke up too. His name was Nathan. Man with a lab coat named Nathan? Well, still is, I suppose. Anyway, he's that guy that went over to the other answer team. Quickly decided to check the remaining bed and wake whoever was still asleep. Well, there she was. A secret participant, a young woman probably about your age. Looks at Evelyn. She was breathing peacefully, completely oblivious to her situation. Long, wavy blonde hair, eyes were green? Sorry, I'll check. Anyway, a pretty thing she was, definitely. Well, I guess she's not a thing I should say. That's not a thing I should say at my age. Well, I didn't think much of it, and I was just about to wake her up when Nathan, standing next to me, froze up for a second, going all, "It can't be, it can't be." He dashed toward her and shook her body, shouting out her name. "Emilia! Emilia, is that you?" But he froze the second that name left his tongue. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, it has to be. I know it must be. It wouldn't even make sense if it wasn't. Everything fits so well, it's hard to convince my heart to feel the same. So, long story short, she did indeed confirm that her name's Emilia, but it seems she doesn't remember anything more than that. What I can tell so far, we all seem to be struggling with our recent memory. Can all you confirm that? Yes, that is true, actually. I nod. Looks over at Valerie, who seems to be completely spaced out, and sighs and continues. Yeah, so it seems it hit her even harder than it hit us. She barely remembers anything at all, even when it comes to herself as a person. That's what I meant earlier. That's the other reason for why I can't really tell you all that much yet. I have to hope that it's temporary, of course. That it will all come back to her eventually. I'm very curious about, the person on the title screen. Is that Emilia? We just sit there for a moment, stunned and unsure how to advance. And the person I least expected it from speaks up. What about that Nathan dude? Did he seem to know her? Did he say anything else? Ah, yes, of course. As I said, we didn't have time to go into too much detail yet. From what he told me, the girl's apparently the daughter of one of his higher-ups. Now, that would be fine and all, but it might have even been enough to explain his reaction toward finding her. That wasn't the actual reason, though. The truly strange part is what he told us afterwards. Apparently, she went missing roughly 2 years ago. The moment those words leave his tongue, my world fades to black. This can't be right. Doesn't make sense. It's really her? No, it can't be. It has to be, some kind of misunderstanding. She's still alive? How? Where the hell has she been all this time? Was she kept down here all along? Did that NULL guy perform some kind of twisted experiments on her? Is that why she lost her memories? Fuck, I was so sure she was dead. Like Sophie, I never expected her to return. I was fully convinced that I'd never get to see her again, have to see her again. Even now, will she even remember me? Not like we even knew each other all that well, right? Maybe it's better this way. Maybe I wouldn't want her to remember. Adrian? Oh fuck, I totally forgot I'm here too. I've been silent for way too long. Calm down, breathe in, and out. What was the question again? Just check the log. Oh, okay, that's how this, Valerie know her too? We missed Valerie losing her cool too. So we recognized the circumstances and blanked out. The fuck are you talking about? How can you just say something like that with a straight face? That is a curious reaction. It's a very curious reaction. It's the actual reason, though. That's what Nathan told me. It just sure didn't seem like he had just made that up. The way he looked at her, shook her. I doubt he could have faked all that. Why would he anyway? I don't know, god damn it. This is way too much. I understand how you feel, but you don't, but it's fine. I'm sorry. Want some time to yourself? Think things through and all? I guess so. No, wait a minute. You can stay here. Just sit down. I wanted to look around a bit anyways. Didn't really get a chance yet over in my group. Be right with all of you. Adrian? So I haven't really looked around yet either, huh? Yeah. Good job. What an amazing performance. Definitely worth the uncomfortably long pause. Alright then. I'll come over at some point. Probably. Okay? Of course. Take your time. Yeah, sure, all the time in the world. We're in no rush or anything, right? Evelyn and Oliver make their way toward the room I only briefly dashed through. When I originally looked around, I follow after them. Last time I was here, I only paid attention to the strange middle door, but like I had guessed, it really is a living room. I didn't even notice the massive sofa occupying half the room when I first ran through here. Others are already busy with searching for clues or anything else that might help us. I decided to wordlessly make my way over to the desk and look through the drawers. Nothing. Wow. Expecting similar results, I continue with the file cabinet, but this one doesn't even open up in the first place. Not sure whether that's better or worse. God, this feels like a waste of time. It should have been obvious that NULL wouldn't leave anything actually useful behind. I had a sigh and turn around toward the sofa where Evelyn is currently focused on checking the books above it. My eyes don't remain there for long when I notice an object that stands out like a sore thumb amongst all the others. An acoustic guitar. Standing back there, right in the corner behind the door, as if to personally mock me. Did NULL put that there on purpose? First Emilia, and now this. It's like, is everything alright? Evelyn has gotten down from the sofa. Is she talking to me? She noticed how I glared at the guitar. Huh? Yeah, I was just kind of focused. Wanted to make sure I don't miss anything that could help us. I don't think there's anything all that interesting here, to be honest. You might be right. It seemed to just be a regular room. Did she actually swallow that shoddy excuse, or just decide to drop it? I really can't tell. Can't tell what any of these people are thinking. Not like it matters. It's a coincidence. The thought of it being any other way isn't even worth entertaining. Yeah, I agree. Oh well. It's worth checking out. It's worth checking anyway. At least I can confirm that these rooms all look pretty identical to what we have over at the question team. He throws himself onto the couch. Evelyn and I sit down as well. Considering the situation we're in, it is rather surprising how pretty these rooms are. I wonder why the person behind this put that much care into the furnishing. Yeah, I had the same thought a while ago. Wait, I guess this could be a good opportunity to bring up what I noticed. Not that's particularly helpful, but... yeah, I was wondering the same thing, so I checked out the plants in the kitchen. Plants? Yeah, the ones on the wall. Anyways, as I guessed it, it's just AR. Probably all of this, aside from the hall. That does make a lot more sense. Wait, what? AR? You mean like augmented reality? Yeah, right. Sorry. Thought the abbreviation was common enough. It's fine. Don't worry. I guess this explains what you're talking about. In all honesty... This whole place looks like shit. Wait, do you not possess a NeroLink? Well, not yet. I was planning to get one. I actually just went to a center before. Well, not for whatever happened and I got here. Right, you mentioned that. Thought it was just a checkup or something. Oh, is that so? Why did you decide to get one now? Most people... Well, excuse me if I sound disrespectful, but most people your age don't really change their mind on it anymore, do they? No offense taken, don't worry. You're right, of course. I've been living out in the sticks all my life, but now... I met someone. A couple years ago. Someone of his own. Well, long story short, we want to move in together soon. Hence, I need to get shipped so I can finally live in one of those fancy cities myself. Sucks that's even necessary. Sure, true. Then again, the whole point of the safe zones is, well, being safe. These brain chip thingies make that possible, then there wouldn't be much point to those places existing if they just let anyone in. Yeah, sure. That's definitely what they were designed for. Not at all like they just want to collect our data and permanently tie us to the UCE. That'd be insane. God, I'd love to tell him to his face. How many people I know that wish they could get rid of their implants. How lucky he is to still have the choice. Doubt he'd care. But again, it's not like it's my problem either. How does it even work, though? These images really look as realistic as Adrian made it seem. Very much so. I mean, I didn't even notice after all. It's not just image data either. Touch, smell, and temperature. It's all being transmitted directly to the brain. Damn, that's insane. Oh, did you notice that it was AR then? Looking at me. Oh, great. So glad I brought this up. But again, maybe this is their idea of breaking the ice. I haven't talked a whole lot so far. Well, it's difficult to explain. See, it's just that with some objects it's easier to tell with the others, because, Damn, why did I even try? If I can't say it properly, I'd rather just stay quiet. Guess I'm not much help after all. I direct my eyes at Evelyn in an attempt to plead for help. We seem much better at explaining this sort of stuff anyway. I really relate to poor Adrian's awkwardness. He smiles softly in return and continues. Take a look at this sofa, for example. I assume you see it differently from us, but we still sit on top of it. We still sit on top of one from your perspective, right? Yeah, of course. It looks the same from our perspective. Same with this armrest. She runs her hand across it. You can feel its texture. I can't move my hand into what I see as the armrest. It is actually physically there. Am I right? What are you getting at? See, there is a sofa here. It looks different to you than it does to us. It might even feel different. But its general shape is the same. The only thing that has changed is its skin. The same is true for, I imagine, most objects here. If it wasn't, it would be difficult for us to find a way around at all. Either we would keep running into things we can't see, or we might try to hold on to something that isn't there. that isn't necessarily true for smaller items. Things that we aren't normally interacting with. We don't usually come into contact with, like decoration. Like plants. Gives me a somewhat impressed look. Alright, I'll continue. Yeah, right. I'm gonna assume that what the two of us see as a wooden structure and everyone with plants is, well, just a wall to you. I think of a similar shape in its place since it isn't something that we need to interact with. I see. So in cases like that, you can just move through it the same way I can. Not completely. But when we just gently move our hands across them, we can still feel the plants. They'll even move a bit. Just, well, if we push past a certain point, there's nothing to actually hold us back, so we will just phase through, right? That wasn't so bad, was it? Interesting. Seems like you lot really do see this whole place in an entirely different way. All looks identical to you, though, right? Just gray walls, some rusty pipes and stuff. That's right. I suppose we are not intended to spend a lot of time there. Yeah, probably. Now then, how does your NeroLink know where it has to display this AR stuff? Well, what's it supposed to display in the first place? You see, the necessary files for that are stored in nearby nanologs. Those transmit information to each NeroLink user in that area, so that everyone receives the same data. Wait, hold up. Looks like this nanolog stuff again. Aren't those just used for surveillance in the zones? We're mixing something up. Wonder how much of that is prevalent in these zones here. Where nothing's actually decorated, it's just fully neurologged. So if one guy who isn't chipped goes into a place populated by people who are chipped, is that experience just like the current experience of looking at someone with like looking at a bunch of people with VR goggles doing VR things, or they're just in the normal world? You're right, that is one of their tasks. In general, however, you can simply think of them as very small data storage devices that are distributed whenever necessary. Apart from tracking data of nearby NeroLink users, they can also host data, like that which is necessary for the display of augmented reality functions. In other words, AR data is not generated by the NeroLinks themselves, but instead stored in the local nanologs, which then transmitted to each individual user. That's also why we can still access it despite it not being connected to the net as a whole right now. That way each nearby person automatically views the same set of data, preventing any inconsistencies from occurring. All that to ensure we see the world the same way, the way they want it to be seen. But with ads for the most part. Oh. Does that cover your question? Well, I think I got the gist of it. Can't deny that. Love to know more. Don't want to waste any more of your time, though, or let you die of boredom, Adrian. Well, now I feel bad. Consider it. I've been wondering for a while whether this is a meaningful use of our time. However, I can't deny that I still don't see a direct connection to our situation. I do feel like it wouldn't hurt to be on the same page about all of this. This place is full of AR after all. Maybe being able to see past that would be useful somehow. Maybe not. No, I don't mind explaining this at all, especially since I'm not sure what else we could be discussing right now, with the limited knowledge on Emilia you seem to have so far. Yeah, that's probably true. It's maybe the only appropriate time to get this stuff out of the way, so feel free to keep going. That being said, I can't pretend to get anything out of this info dump. You'll be fine without me for a bit, right? Probably better explaining all this than I am anyway. Definitely. I'm gonna take a bathroom break. Of course, I will do my best. I nod with a slight smile before I get up from the couch. Move toward the kitchen door, I hesitate. Valerie is likely still pouting at the table. I guess I'll take a detour through the hall. Honestly, I didn't come here because I needed to. I don't even think I even drank anything since I woke up. Maybe I should. Drink some water from the sink. And some more. Now do I realize how dehydrated I've been this entire time. No wonder I've been feeling like shit. I mean, that's not why I came here. Frankly, I just needed some time to myself. Time to process everything. Time without people constantly talking around me. Guess I can't pretend I don't understand how Valerie feels, and yet I absolutely looked down on her. But she lashed out for seemingly no reason, constantly needing time to herself. I think everyone wait for her to calm down. I feel like she's just wasting our time. Still kind of do. As if I'm any better. Just sitting there without saying anything at all, either not knowing what to add or deeming it as too irrelevant to even open my mouth for it. Not even mentioning what I know about Emilia. Keeping the truth under wraps for no good reason, just like back then. At this point, I could just go and hide away elsewhere, too. Well, here I am. I can't go on like this. I sit down on the toilet. I've already been here for over a minute and haven't even started to think about anything of use. How am I supposed to make any progress like this? I need to try and connect the dots I've been dealt so far. Figure something out. Anything that might help us solve this and get out of here. It's not like I know anything about these people. That doesn't mean I want to be let down. I want to let them down. Let them feel like I'm not even trying. Feel like I'm hiding something. What if they... Shut up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, let's summarize what I know so far. This place is split into three, most likely identical areas. Each of those belongs to one team with 3 members each. So far we have no way to know anything about the participants for the other answer team. Most likely hear about them in like 2.5 hours? Or whenever Oliver returns from his second visit. A rough idea of who's in the question team is to take everything that Oliver said at face value. On top of that, only if we can trust what Nathan, a person we haven't even met, told Oliver. The problem is that our whole task here is to figure out what is going on in the QT. If we can't truly believe anything that we're told, how are we supposed to learn anything? We barely know how the specifics of this game work. Learning the truth about that secret game participant could pretty much anything. In other words, our goal should be to simply find out as much as possible, and hope that we'll stumble upon that truth along the way. Either way, we're really only left with 2 options. 1, we trust what Oliver told us. The 3rd member of the QT is Emilia. It's true, we have a chance of winning. If it turns out he lied to us, we're fucked. 2, we don't trust anything he says. In that case, we're fucked either way. We don't have any other source of information. It's like a pretty clear case of Pascal's wager. We don't have a choice but to trust him. We won't have any sort of chance on salvation. That being the case, that means Emilia is the secret member of the QT. All the details line up. Oliver's description of her appearance, her having gone missing 2 years ago, and, well, her name. It fits way too well to be a coincidence, even if I still can't quite believe it. This also tells us a bunch of things about this Nathan himself. He was apparently wearing a lab coat and working with, or for, Emilia's father. This lines up, since her father was a leading scientist at a NeroLink center, the one in A3 to be specific. The one in A3 to be specific. Interesting, because Oliver brought up that he was visiting that very same location before he was abducted. If there's some kind of connection between that place and all of this, if so, does that mean Nathan could be involved somehow? That might be too much of a stretch. After all, he could have also been brought here for the simple reason that he was there. For work. Duh. That's all I've got when it comes to the participants I haven't met yet. The connection I can really draw is the NeroLink Center. Not really sure how well this holds up with the remaining people here. Also still doesn't explain what Emilia has to do with this. Why the hell is she here? Is this connected to why she disappeared in the first place? It certainly seems to be at the heart of all this. Nathan knows about her, and so do I. Now to think about it, and Valerie's reactions toward hearing about Emilia did seem rather strong. And again, most of her reactions toward anything have been intense. Still, something to take note of. Oh, one more thing's been bothering me. How did Oliver know Valerie's name when she first entered the kitchen? Did I miss something? Does he know more than he's letting on? Guess I could at least check the log. What time they could have told her name before she joined us was back in the hall. When we first met. That's a legit good question. Nothing hiding. Just, she also reacted really strongly to ATA. Who the fuck doesn't know what that means? I'll stay there and wait until I leave. Curious. Nope, nothing. Her name wasn't brought up a single time after he arrived. Went to the kitchen right after leaving the hall. Should I ask him about it? Maybe, just maybe, he doesn't know either. Recall the way I felt when I learned the others' names. I felt like I already knew, somewhere deep down. Like I was just relearning something I had previously forgotten. We all seemed to be struggling with our memory, some more than others. Maybe we already spoke with one another before we woke up in here. More than just our memory, our NeuroLinks were also tampered with. All entries from before our arrival are gone. Any advanced functions, such as communication, are unavailable, and not even time is being displayed correctly. NULL clearly doesn't want us to know how it happened before this, or how much time has passed since we got here. But why? Why is he trying to hide through that? And train of thought is interrupted by the sound of the sudden sound of a door closing shut. Judging by the volume, it could only have been through the door to the kitchen. Did Valerie enter the bedroom? Wait, how long have I been sitting here anyway? I should go back to the others. Get up and walk to the door when I freeze. Is Valerie still in the bedroom? Can I just walk past her? Should I say something? Will she say something? Oh, why is this even bothering me? I'm just going out. It'll be fine. Sure enough, she's sitting on the bed when she woke up and facing away from me. Think about whether I should just go back through the hall, or just straight to the kitchen and pick the ladder. Take a single large step and end up right in front of the kitchen door. As I grab the handle, I notice Valerie turning toward me from the corner of my eye. We turn her turning toward me by turning toward her. Our eyes meet. Continue to push down the handle. What are you thinking right now? Huh? What are you thinking about? Let go of the handle. Not much. Why? I've been thinking about how much you're pissing me off. What? What the heck have I done to her? We barely even spoke. Not even gonna bother with replying, huh? Exactly what I'm talking about. This entire time, you haven't said anything noteworthy. Haven't contributed anything. As if you want to talk. And now what? Just gonna walk straight past me? Just thought you probably wanted to be left alone. If I did, I wouldn't have left the kitchen. I wanted to talk to you. Oh, you did? Wait, how'd you know I was in the bathroom? I heard the door closing. I mean, I guess, but how did you know that was me? Because I only heard it closing once, and that was a while ago. I don't know how much time has passed, but definitely more than anyone should need to finish their business. So what could that mean? Someone decided to run away from the big scary group conversation and hide in the bathroom, perhaps? Well, to be fair, so it could have also been someone with real bad constipation, so it was a bit of a gamble. Which was it? Fuck you. Don't act like you haven't been doing the exact same thing this entire time since the moment we first woke up here. It's not just me. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to hear your thoughts on something, or someone. What do you think of Oliver? He's a man. He seems nice. Great input, really. I'll write that down straight away. No problem. Let's try this again, alright? Does he seem off to you somehow? Do you think we can trust anything he's telling us? About that girl? Emilia. I mean, obviously I got my own opinion on the whole matter, but still, thought a second opinion won't hurt. Alright, let's try and contribute to this. I don't really know. He seems nice and all, but I guess it doesn't really mean much. There's only one thing I noticed. What is it? When When you and Oliver first met, he greeted you with your name. I don't think he should have known. I'm certain there was no time frame during which he could have been told without me hearing. You're right, he did that. Are you sure you didn't just miss how someone told him? Did you check your log? Yeah, of course. Nobody mentioned your name. Consider explaining how I think it might be related to our memory loss. I also felt like I already knew all their names before they first told me. I decide not to. Weird. Well then. He gets up from her bed and walks up to me. Let's not leave those two alone for any longer. Pushes me aside and enters the kitchen. I want to punch her so badly, but I just follow her back to the living room instead. She's intriguing. Oh wow, you actually came back. It took so long we were placing bets on who'd return first. Guess neither of us expected you'd join up. Well, to be precise, Adrian was following behind Valerie, so... Oh, you want me to let you win? You want to let me win? How kind of you. That's not it. I'm just being fair. Whatever you say, whatever you say. Anyway, why don't the two of you come and sit down? There's enough sofa for everyone. Ignoring the little bet, I do as I'm suggested. Valerie hesitates for a moment, but ultimately decides to do the same. Sounds like the two of you have really been hitting it off, huh? I think we can trust Valerie. In a weird way. I think we can trust Valerie. What can I say? We have quite a bit of time on our hands. We hope you'll be getting along as well. Oh yes, splendidly. He says in a clearly sarcastic tone, but Evelyn seems happy to hear it anyway. Thanks to Adrian, I came to a conclusion. But how I want to tackle this whole game thing from now on. You did? Thanks to me? Well, how's that for someone who hasn't contributed a single thing, huh? Decided that I will not trust any of you. Not yet, at least. That being said, I will cooperate with you to some extent. Can't imagine sitting around moping all day will get me anywhere. We don't have that sort of time. Well, progress is progress. So, pretty much the exact conclusion I reached as well. Like Valerie and Adrian were almost so alike their personalities naturally clash in a very abrasive manner, so to speak. I'm starting to think Valerie and I don't feel all that different about the situation. It's just that she actively voices her complaints while I sit quietly in the corner. Is there anything we can do to strengthen your trust? You? Not really. But to be honest, it doesn't act like it matters all that much whether I can trust you anyway. Oliver, on the other hand. First of all, there's something I wanted to ask you. Something that Adrian brought up. Huh? Oh, that. Oh, please don't play with it as if I'm the one distrusting him. Sure, what's this about? When we first met in the kitchen, you greeted me right away. Specific, you said, there you are, Valerie, right? Oh, yeah. I guess I might have said something along those lines. Not something along those lines, that's what you said. I checked the log. Alright, if you say so. What about it? I obviously wasn't there the whole time. According to what Adrian told me, when you first arrived in our hall, to that moment, nobody told you what my name was. Ah, is that so? Could have sworn someone mentioned it. Just felt natural to greet you like that. You sure that neither of you brought it up, Adrian? Why not? I checked every conversation that happened during that time frame. It's not like he's ever been alone with Evelyn at any point. Assuming that's true, mind telling me how you knew my name? Well, how did I, huh? Must have picked it up somewhere. Damn. I can't just check my log, I guess. What? Why? I just checked my log as well, and I think I might have an idea. Oh? Guess I should hold off on sharing my theory for a bit longer. Right after we split up and the two of you entered the kitchen, I started knocking on the bathroom door. I called out to Valerie. Valerie, can you hear me? My memories on the details are rather vague, but I recall that you, Adrian, had already walked further into the kitchen, while Oliver stood behind and closed the door, right? Damn. Log can't help me there. Is that what happened? I think it might have. Yeah, that must be it. Guess the log only picks up stuff you managed to properly hear, huh? That's right. That's probably how it was. I'd record things I haven't actively paid attention to, but none of that was out of... I don't think that was out of reach for me to hear altogether. Well, I see. I guess that adds up with what I can tell from my log. Yeah, I'm sorry for making it up. I'm Not like I wanted to sow any unnecessary distrust, but, well, it seems I was just overthinking this. And don't worry about it, alright? It's only natural to suspect others in a situation like this, especially after spending some time with the Queen of Distrust. Yeah, well, yeah. I luckily managed to clear it up, this misunderstanding rather quickly. If anything, that shows that you shouldn't keep your suspicions to yourself. True. Would have been much worse if you kept distrusting me because of something so silly all day. Oh then, was that the only thing that bothered you? Well, yeah. Now I'm just going to look forward to hearing what you will have to share with us next time you return from your team. Of course. I'm sure the same is true for all of you. No, not to that extent. At least, the thing is, I know Emilia. Everything you told us, I'm sure it must be the same one. I was right. It explains her extreme reaction to Oliver's story. And it seems like she also knows that we know. Though, well, it still doesn't explain her behavior prior to that. Whatever. What she says is true. At least 3 out of 8 people here have some kind of connection to Emilia. What about the rest? Someone from the other answer team will very likely know her too. What about Oliver and Evelyn? Were the 2 of you friends then? Who knows? What do you mean? I'm not going to talk about that until Oliver leaves. We can discuss any further details after that, if you really want to know. Once he returns, I want him to tell me how Emilia reacted to hearing about me. The less he knows about our relationship, the more helpful his report will be, determining whether anything he says is to be believed. Understood? I see. Sure, that makes sense, I guess. It means I can earn some of your trust that way, then I'll do as you say. Not a bad idea, really. That might be the simplest way to find out whether Oliver can be trusted, and whether Emilia is really here. There's just one tiny loophole. But what if she just doesn't remember? At least not yet. What to be more specific? What if Oliver is going to claim that's what she said? When that we may have just poisoned the well by vocalizing. Like if everything he said so far is true and she lost her memory, who knows whether she actually regained any of it? That would be awfully convenient, wouldn't it? I'll just have to hope that isn't the case, huh? Nobody says anything in return for a while. She's right, of course. Not like there's anything we can do to help her remember, huh? Or is there? Oliver seems to struggle with finding the right words to continue, then eventually takes a deep breath. At least now, I now understand why you reacted this way back in the kitchen. It's starting to add up. Why you distrust me so much. Oh, no, don't worry. I distrust all of you pretty equally. The problem is that I want to trust you. More specifically, I need to be able to trust whatever you tell us about Emilia. I thought that's what this entire thing is about. If you say so. Hey! Healthy distrust. To build trust off of. That's decent. That's good. That works. You can work with that. Anyway, I know you don't want to talk about what your relationship with her was and all that. But it's pretty obvious that she was at least important to you in some way. Knowing that, can I ask one thing? You can. Might even answer, who knows? Why would I lie? What would I get out of making up this story about a girl you knew being here? Assuming that I would have a reason to do so just throws a huge wrench in your whole line of thought. Like what? If I made up this specific description somehow perfectly fitting someone that you knew, that implies that I already knew about you knowing her. I never knew that I would get some sort of reaction out of you. I knew that I would get some sort of reaction out of you and me. If that were the case, I would very likely also know more about your exact connection, making your whole test kind of pointless. Unless you believe that, why would I lie? Who knows? Well, she did say she might answer. I honestly didn't expect him to put up this much of a resistance. So far it seemed like he's always tried to be really considerate of Valerie, even when she reacted in a less than friendly manner. He really doesn't want her to distrust him. And he is correct. If what he told us was a lie, was too specific to be a simple coincidence, he would need to know more about all of this, and even cooperate with the mastermind. Same is true for what I thought about earlier. If Oliver is truthful, but Nathan lied for whatever reason, he would probably try to orchestrate everything in a way that doesn't reveal the truth. He might be able to tell Oliver what Valerie wants to hear, In order to... what? Mislead us? Make us lose the game? Maybe to protect someone from the other answer team. That would probably make Nathan a regular participant with motives beyond the purpose of this experiment. If that was the case, how would he know who resides in which team? Ignoring all that, can it really be a coincidence that at least 2 people from one team know Emilia? Wait, maybe Valerie is just bluffing, waiting for Oliver to slip up and say that she is being remembered. That would contradict her reason to hear. By the way, how much time do you have left, Oliver? I almost need to recall that conversation. Oh, wait. So... an intense mind game here between these two. Valerie's plan makes sense on the surface. Give Oliver as little as possible except for... I know her, she knew me. Feed that to Emilia. See how she reacts, report back. Oliver could lie. Top level, Oliver could lie about her reaction. We go deeper. Oliver could know that about their relationship. Get that. Oh, okay, that's not quite the bottom level. Oliver made up the description to get this reaction out of Valerie. Does you believe? Why would I lie? Right. We've done this timer. Evelyn following his gaze. 7 more minutes, then you're finally rid of me. Great, can't wait. Time's really flying by when you're having fun, huh? Wait a second. Now that I think about it, how did she know about the timer? Oliver explained it to me. Valerie wasn't in the room. For that, there wasn't a single point in time when she was in one room with him, without me being present as well. Maybe Evelyn explained the rules? She shouldn't have known about it. Fuck, this is the exact same thing we've just been over. Fits so well with the idea of our lost memories, but... probably some logical explanation for this, isn't there? I'm just missing something really obvious again. I'm trying to explain this without some unnecessary sci-fi twist. Why does this go to page 3? Okay, why can't I come up with something, just something actually useful to say? I thought it would really help us figure this whole thing out. I could always share what I know about Emilia, but no, not yet. I should at least wait for what Oliver has to tell us. Once he returns, Valerie's plan is pretty solid as well. No reason to get into all that. And before we know for sure whether she's really here, whether she's truly still alive after all this time. In the end, there might still be some other logical explanations to all this, right? Adrian? Huh? You're around, everyone else had stood up while I was lost in thought. We zoned out again. Oh, yeah, here we go. We've zoned out. 7 more minutes. How much time do we have left? It's over here. I didn't even realize you're wearing a watch. Countdown thingy. That's really neat. Is it ready? Alright. I'll accompany you. I'll accompany you. I think I have something better to do. Adrian? Huh? Oh, sorry, of course. Get up as well. Joining them on their way to see Oliver off. So, how exactly does this door work? How do you open it? One time I used it so far, just opened by itself once the timer reached the last minute. Be like, come with you? Not that I want to necessarily, but wouldn't it work? I don't know. I doubt it. An obvious oversight, don't you think? So the whole contraption is a bit more complicated than just this door. How so? Alright, how should I put it? Behind this door there's another one that only opens after this one is closed again. He's wildly gesturing in a desperate attempt to visualize his explanation. Leads to a small chamber below this whole platform thing that NULL was standing on earlier. A chamber connects to 3 doors in total, one leading to each of the halls. And yeah, all those work with just like the one I described. Definitely seems like someone wanted to make very sure that nobody would enter any of these doors without permission. Wait a second. There's a room below this platform. Well, the room might be an exaggeration. It's really just a small round space that connects all these doors and halls and stuff. But didn't NULL appear on this platform using some kind of elevator coming from down there? Did he come with that small chamber then? You're exactly right. That's what it seemed like. In that case, it's rather likely that NULL is hiding further down. Wouldn't you agree? What makes you think that? You can simply think of the chamber that lies at the center of the 3 halls as an elevator shaft. When at ground level, the elevator seems to be a regular floor that connects the 3 exits to one another. Beyond that, it can also move up to function as a platform for NULL to talk to us from. Or even further down to a separate area in which NULL is most likely located. That's the only explanation that makes sense, is it not? Now that she puts it like that, yeah, it really is just that simple. Oliver nods in agreement, seeming rather impressed by her introduction. Valerie, not so much. Yeah, that's great and all. It's backed by questions. Mind if I try? Going through the door with you? I don't know if that's such a good idea. Should we just do as we're told for now? Come on, I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, if the 2 of you are sure about it. When the door opens, revealing a small round space in between the outer and one of the inner doors, just like Oliver had described. Oliver enters said space, and nothing happens. Well, won't you come in too? Oh yeah, sure. The generic announcement plays out through the same speakers that were last used when NULL was giving his introductory speech. Error. Unauthorized number of signals detected. Please step back from the exit. Well, there you have it. If you'd be so kind, then. He gestures for her to back off. He sighs and after a bit of hesitation takes a couple steps away from the door. So long. Door slides shut in front of him. And now it's just the 3 of us once more. We stand there quietly, look back and forth between Valerie, Evelyn, and the floor, waiting for someone to say something, anything. But unfortunately, it seems like they're doing the exact same thing. Valerie promised to tell us about her connection to Emilia once Oliver was gone. Now she looks hesitant. She's contemplating how, or if, to go about it. Maybe she's hoping we already forgot. We clearly didn't. Evelyn is most likely giving Valerie a chance to gather her thoughts, but come on. We don't have that kind of time, do we? Take a deep breath, preparing to give her a piece of my mind. However, before my voice manages to reach my throat, it is swiftly interrupted by the sudden rumbling of a stomach. Judging by the 2 sets of eyes looking in my direction, it appears to be my own, attempting to break the silence that engulfed the hall ever since Oliver left our group. The fact that And even think about food in a situation like this is insane to me. Kind of disgusting, to be honest. Oh yeah, sorry. I guess I forgot to eat. I forgot to eat before getting kidnapped. Maybe we should use this opportunity to take a short break in the kitchen. I will check the supplies and whip up something for us to eat. Can't properly think on an empty stomach after all. Isn't that right? Are you sure we got the time for that right now? Not like I'm gonna starve anytime soon, so don't worry about me. I don't think that will pose a problem. We still have almost 90 minutes at our disposal until Oliver returns. Don't we need that much time to discuss what Valerie wanted to talk about, do we? No. She still acts as though she's irritated about this turn of events, but I get the feeling she's actually relieved that she can postpone talking about Emilia a little further. Not that I can't relate. In that case, I think it would only prove beneficial to prepare a meal right now. You might not be hungry quite yet. That could change at any time. It's best to take care of things like this sooner, rather than later. Yeah, I get it. Let's get going then. Two of you can simply sit down for now. I'll take care of everything, so don't worry about it. She's got the kind of overly accommodating personality that makes me wonder what's going to happen to her. From a perspective of how badly is she going to snap. What's the curious thing about this game is it's not outwardly dangerous, to our knowledge. It's very curious. There's an explicit end goal here. But alas, here we go. Until next time. Until then.